Hello and welcome to this final video of the series for Domain 1 CISSP, which is Security and Risk Management. And what I want to do in this video is to just walk you through some of the core concepts that we have seen in all along looking at the various topics under this domain. This is basically for you to ponder over when you prep for your exam in terms of that the core aspect of the domain is well captured, but also that you have understood the concept well. Therefore, let's just start with what you called as the CIA triad. And it is important to understand that finding a right mix of confidentiality, integrity, and availability is a kind of a juggling, balancing act. Therefore, too much of confidentiality or integrity or availability, which may or may not be in line with your business requirement, is also very detrimental. Do understand that IT security is there to support an organization, and in itself it doesn't bring any value unless or until IT security is a core of your business, or it's part of the core business that an organization does. Therefore, it is in supporting task. However, it should not be undermined and it should not be overlooked. Therefore, it is important that security leaders and the business leaders wear both the hats when they talk about IT security, both in terms of its what is security wise required, but what is business wise required as well. So in the exam, when you appear, please do wear both the hats, because you may be asked to, as an advisor, advise on a situation where you may have to wear both these hats at the same time. We have also saw the details about privacy and the various laws across different countries that governs it. Especially important or widely known among this is the European Union's GDPR, where we have seen that how the privacy related concept, the regulation around it extend to EU, but also to European Economic Area, which are countries who are not directly part of the European Union, but they are part of the economic zone. It is important to understand that GDPR as in regulation lays down strict rules, I think 7 or 8 of them, which needs to be adhered to, otherwise the fiduciary fines of not following those regulations are quite heavy. It is also important to understand the core of GDPR, that when you appear in the exam, for instance, we have seen that before the advent of GDPR, there was the US Safe Harbor Agreement, there was the EU US Privacy Shield, which was then replaced by SCUM 2, but then all of those still have to be in line with what GDPR is saying as of today. It is implemented from year 2018, so that's the starting point that has been taken. Another aspect is that no matter how well you prepare your organization or your business, disasters, unintentional incidents are bound to happen, and it is a sign of any a solid organization with great values and principles that is built around, that they are capable of managing those disasters well and still continue to run as an organization or continue to run their business. Therefore, business continuity plan or disaster recovery plans are very important aspect of running the business or an organization. It is not something that is to be thought after something happened, but it is more of to be thought when you design your processes, technological capability, people aspect for your organization. It is important to understand that BCP DR is not just an IT related process or aspect, it is equally applicable to people and processes as well. Technology also plays a part in it, but this is not an standalone or isolated part. They all work together, they all work in tandem with each other. The support of senior management in terms of BCP and DRP, also along with other aspects of IT security, is of paramount, because both the approach of top-down and bottom-up need to collude and collide with each other, or rather merge with each other, to make it a strictly functional, secure organization. Uh, it is also important that your BCP, DRP, and other related plan have an iterative cycle, which means they need to be looked after regularly at a frequency determined by the need and the sensitivity of your business that it is operating, and the environmental factor that the business is operating under. Therefore, it is not once done and forget forever kind of thing. It requires an frequent iterative look. Therefore, I must advise you to follow the concept of the various topics, including BCP and DRP, in terms of trying to get the meaning of not what it is, but why it is also exist at first place. With this, I'll stop. I hope that you have enjoyed watching the series for the first domain. In the next session, we will start with the second domain of CISSP with respect to asset management and asset security, and there we will look into the aspect of asset being at the central focal point of IT security. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.